So if you have negative equity in your vehicle and you're having a tough time trading it in or a tough time getting out of your loan, one of the big reasons for that negative equity could be because the original deal that you made for that vehicle was not a great deal. And sometimes it comes from what was negotiated. A lot of times it comes from things that were tacked onto the deal after it was settled by the finance office. And many people think, well, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm dealing with a car dealer that does this for a living, which is true. And the Wall Street Journal had an interesting article this week about the lost art of negotiating the price of a car. And in theory, it's a good article, and it talks about what you can do. But the most important thing is that it omits the most valuable part of negotiating. So let's cover what they do talk about, and then we'll get into the most valuable method you could use, which really requires no work. It says start negotiations at home. That's great, but a lot of dealers won't negotiate over the phone. They'll keep begging you to come in. You got to come in. You got to see the car. If you're here in person, you get a better deal. The second thing they tell you is focus on the all-in price. That's true. You don't want to get a price and then have them throw in after the fact. You have this additional dealer fee or transaction fee. And then what else is up for negotiations, right? What else can buyers can get pre-approved for a loan, match the interest rate. Okay, that's fine. Know your limits. What are the limits you have to do? But this doesn't tell you how to beat the dealer at their game, because they're skilled in the art of negotiation and they use psychology. So what can you do to escape the high pressure? Because that's really what they do. They put a lot of pressure on you to buy right now. Do it while you're there. Don't leave. So how do you avoid that? Well, it's real simple. It's real simple. Just turn it around and ask them, do you feel like I have all the information I would need to make this decision? It's a $50,000 car, $60,000 car. Set them up. Trap them in their own logic. Do you think I have all the information I should have to make a $60,000 decision? Yes or no? They're probably going to say yes. Oh yeah, you have everything you need. Great. How long have I been here? An hour and a half. So you think an hour and a half is enough time to gather information to make a $60,000 decision. Now they're going to be a little skeptical. Well, yeah, okay, maybe. And then you can ask them one more question. If you had a friend or relative, would you recommend that they make a $60,000 decision in 1 hour? Now they're in a trap, because either A, they say, yeah, make a $60,000 decision in 1 hour. That takes away their credibility. That proves that they're out for themselves. They're not looking out for you. If they say, well, maybe you should have more, now you kind of bought yourself some time. If they stick to their guns and say, no, you should be able to make a decision in $60,000, then you can say, well, every other financial professional I deal with, my broker, my financial advisor, my accountant, my attorney, everybody else who are professionals, always spend a whole lot more time and tell me to spend more time making a decision about choices that cost less than $60,000. If I'm going to make a $10,000 investment, if I'm going to make a $20,000 choice on a marketing option for my business, all the experts that are looking out for my best interest, they make that decision take longer, do more research, check into more things. So it kind of tells me that you're really not looking out for me. I'm going to then go right back to, I'm going to buy this car, a car like this, maybe not the one on your lot. I'm going to buy a blank, Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, whatever you're buying. I'm going to buy one. I'm definitely going to buy one. I have nothing I need to wait for. I don't need to wait a week, a month, 2 years. I can buy one right now. I have the money. I'm going to buy one. But that doesn't change the fact that it's not good practice for me to evaluate. And then you can ask them, what's the downside for me from buying it tomorrow versus today? And you're going to trap them again. What is the disadvantage of me buying this car tomorrow versus buying it today? Or buying it later today versus right this second? What can they say? There's no downside. If they say, well, somebody else might buy it. Well, how many do you have? Don't you have 10 of them? Or they might say, well, the price might be higher later. Why would the price be higher later? I might not be able to give you as good of a deal. Why would you not be able to give me as good a deal? Because the only thing that's going to change is your choice in giving me the deal. So if you're telling me that you might choose later to not give me as good of a deal, what does that say about you, your credibility? You're doing it out of spite because you couldn't pressure me into buying a car right now. And then every once in a while, backpedal from that. You don't want to get confrontational with them if you want to buy the car there. Say, look, I'm not trying to be a wise guy. I'm not trying to combat you. I'm just saying, I want to buy this car. I think it's a good car. This might be the best deal. This might be what I go with. But I don't see why it's that important to have this happen right this second versus an hour, 2, 3, 4, or a day from now. Other than you're afraid that I might not come back and buy it. And if you're afraid of that, you have that fear, it's one of two things. Either you know for a fact that this is not a great deal, or you just have natural fear that you're going to lose out on your commission. Both of those things don't benefit me, right? So turn it back around on them and use logic. Don't get pulled in and trapped into their pressure tactics or psychology. Think logically. Say, look, do you think it's a good idea to make a $60,000 decision in an hour? Every other decision you make, that could be a $1,000 decision. Think about when you bought your cell phone for $1,000. How much research did you go into looking at different models, finding out the different things? You might have spent a couple hours online, on Amazon, right? That was for a $1,000 cell phone. You can ask the customer, ask the salesperson that. This is 60 times that, 50 times that. Don't you think it makes sense? Wouldn't you recommend me as a advisor to me at the beginning of this engagement you and I had for the last hour? You said, I'm looking out for you. I'm trying to help you out, trying to give you a good deal. So wouldn't you recommend to somebody making this decision to really do it in a thorough way? Or are you changing your mind on you helping me out? Again, I'm not trying to be a wise guy. I'm just saying this is where I'm coming from. And then you can ask, what do you think about all this? Now you put them back in a trap. They have to either defend the fact that they're high pressuring you, or they have to say, yeah, you're right. Either way, you win, and you're not going to get trapped into a bad deal.